Beginning our list for top world stories, we have the earthquakes that devastated Mexico City on September 19th. After the 7.1 magnitude quake struck near the nation's capital, over 40 buildings were destroyed, and sadly 370 people lost their lives. Our next story takes us to the country of Saudi Arabia, where women earned the right to drive cars for the first time. The announcement was made early September, and it's a huge step forward in women's rights. The new law will take effect this coming June. Another big story coming out of the Middle East is the near defeat of the ISIS terrorist group. Although ISIS is still a threat to the world, during 2017, the organization lost control of almost all the cities they occupied. The credit goes to a collaboration between the U.S. forces and our allies across the world. Just missing our top spot of world stories is the Paris Climate Agreement. This is an agreement with the United Nations that regulates greenhouse gases and deals with global warming. The agreement was adopted back in 2015, but this year, President Trump announced the United States would not be part of the agreement, making us the only country to reject the deal. Our top story in our list of world news for 2017 is the escalation of tension in North Korea. Throughout 2017, the closed-off country has tested multiple ballistic missiles, claimed they have nuclear weapons, and have threatened countries all over the world, including the United States. As a result, the United Nations Security Council has placed severe sanctions on the country.
Bagging our list of top movies in 2017 is Wonder. This movie is based off of a popular book about a kid named Augie, who has facial deformities. He is about to go to middle school for the first time and faces difficulties with finding friends. The movie stars Owen Wilson and Julia Roberts. Coming in at number 4 is the Marvel film Spider-Man Homecoming. This latest Spider-Man movie was released on June 28th. It raked a whopping $117 million. In this film, Peter Parker is mentored by Tony Stark and put his powers to the test when the evil Vulture emerges to threaten everything that he holds dear. Moving down our list, we have the DC superhero movie Wonder Woman. This is the first time that a female superhero has been a huge success in the box office. In this movie, our hero is raised as a warrior on an island and then joins civilization in hopes of assisting mankind to win the war that will end all wars. Just missing out on the top spot is Disney's Beauty and the Beast. This is a live-action remake of the 1991 Disney animated film. The movie was a smash hit and became the 7th top-grossing PG-rated film of all time. The storyline is almost identical to the first film and stars the very popular Emma Watson as Belle. The movie that we chose for the biggest film of 2017 was the horror film It. This terrifying movie was based on the classic Stephen King novel and was a remake to a 1990 television series. The movie focuses on the clown Pennywise that kidnapped young kids in the town of Jerry. With the success in the box office, it quickly became the highest-grossing horror movie film of all time.
Beginning our list of biggest trends and viral stories of the year is April the Giraffe. This became a viral sensation after a zoo in New York posted a webcam letting viewers stream the birth of the giraffe. The only problem was that people didn't know this process could take several months. It became a joke in both the news and on social media. But in the end, April did give birth to a baby giraffe named Tarjay. Moving on with our list of biggest trends is the term fake news. This started out as a complaint by the president of poor reporting practices by the media. However, the term quickly changed to a refer to anything someone didn't believe. It also got a lot of buzz when discussing internet safety and knowing what is real news and fake news. In third place, we have pop sockets. These are tiny attachments that go on the back of phones that are used for a grip, stand, earbuds management system, or just something to play with. Almost all students have these to prevent their phones from becoming terribly cracked. Our pick for the second biggest trend goes to slime. In 2017, you couldn't step foot into a classroom without finding at least one student playing with this fun item. This craft became very popular after a few DIY videos that were posted online and went viral. Students in all grades get involved with this trend, and some even began selling different varieties. Topping our list off with the biggest trend of the year are fidget spinners. This sort of live craze took with the world by storm and featured small ball-bearing devices that used could rotate between fingers. The fidget spinner first came out to help kids with anxiety and autism, but quickly turned into a toy for students, leading them to be banned in schools around the country, including right here in Buffett.
One story that missed our countdown was the United States public relations nightmare. After a 66-year-old passenger refused to give up a seat he paid for, the airline physically drugged the man off the plane. The whole thing was caught on camera, causing United Airlines to receive a lot of negative press. Another story missing our list was when Catalonia voted to become independent of Spain on October 27th. Spain called the vote by the Catalonia Parliament both illegal and a violation of the Spain Constitution. Also suffering public relation problems was Pepsi. After airing an ad featuring Kendall Jenner, the company found themselves in hot water. The ad featured Jenner calming a protest by offering a police officer a can of Pepsi. People called it insensitive and an insult to the protest movements that swept the country. A big entertainment story that missed our list was the Cash Me Outside girl. This was a soundbite from an episode of Dr. Phil, where a 14-year-old girl called out people who wanted to fight her by saying "Cash me outside." The clip went viral and led her to making millions of dollars and signing a record deal. Our final story that did not make the countdowns was the Confederate statues being removed in the South. After protests in Charlottesville ended in tragedy, Confederate statues and memorials around the country were removed. People were split on how they felt about this. Some say that the statues are a part of history, while others say that they represented racism in a divided nation.
Beginning our list of the biggest news stories of the year is the protest movement. There are multiple different protests and marches throughout the year. Athletes protested during the national anthem by taking a knee. Both men and women marched to bring awareness for women's rights. People protested Confederate statues. Racial tension was brought to the spotlight, and many other forms of protests took shape. Moving on with our list is hiring Scott Frost as a new head coach for Nebraska football. After the years of struggling and sinking further away from the national spotlight, fans welcomed Frost with open arms. Frost just got done taking a winless UCF team to an undefeated season. Fans of Big Red football feel that Frost is the one individual who knows what it takes to become a winning team. In third place for the biggest stories of the year is the devastating hurricane season our world saw. One hurricane that dominated the news is the U.S. Hurricane Harvey that caused record flooding in Houston, Texas. To our south, Puerto Rico and other island nations took a different hit from both Irma and Maria, causing catastrophic damage and power outages. Just missing the top spot was the Las Vegas shooting taking place on Sunday, October 1st. In this tragedy, 58 people lost their lives and nearly 500 people were injured. This horrific event took place during a country music festival featuring Jason Aldean on the Las Vegas Strip. The motive is unknown and many people are still searching for answers. Taking the top spot on our list is Donald Trump. Getting a new president doesn't happen every year, but 2017 was an exception. When Trump took office January 20th, his presidency has been controversial from the beginning, causing a very strong divide in our nation. Both conservatives and Democrats have strong feelings on the president, with some supporting him and others struggling to accept our new president.